Hey everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. It's Tuesday, and the patch notes for patch 8.16 have been posted, and that means it's time for another patch note rundown. As always, I'll be going through the biggest changes in this week's patch, and letting you guys know what you can be looking forward to in the coming weeks. Now, 8.16 has a whole slew of changes aimed at both buffing tanks that have been out of the meta for a while, nerfing competitive outliers, looking at Aatrox, and additionally having some changes based around reducing the amount of burst damage that is possible in the game. I don't expect this patch to be a band-aid fix for everything, but it should at least help for the most part. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, starting with champion changes. First up is Aatrox is being nerfed in this patch. He is still a premier lane bully after the most recent changes, so he needs further nerfs in order to prevent him from just stomping every lane opponent he ever has. His E's passive healing against non-champions has been almost halved, so he will be healing a lot less from just hitting minions, and its starting charges are reduced, so he will only have one charge as he ranks the ability. Additionally, his R's cooldown has been increased at early levels to prevent Aatrox from constantly tower diving you with no threats, so ideally, this should make Aatrox a little bit easier to fight against. Fizz is being nerfed in this patch as well. Riot overshot on his buff, so they're pulling back some of his damage. His W's active and on-hit damage ratios have both been reduced, and his R's AP ratios have been reduced slightly as well, so Fizz shouldn't be instantly killing you as he is currently on live. Quinn is being nerfed in this patch. She has been a very strong pick in ranked play, especially. She's just too strong at annihilating people before they can respond, so Riot are toning her back a little bit by reducing her AD's growth stat, so she shouldn't have as much attack damage as the game goes on. Rakan is being nerfed in this patch as well. His combination of mobility and durability are way too high and make it so that it's almost impossible to ever kill him. Accordingly, his base health and armor have been reduced in order to make him more vulnerable in certain matchups, and he'll have to rely more on his mobility in order to get out of sticky situations, as opposed to just kind of tanking it up. Talia is being nerfed in this patch as well. She is still too strong with her ability to shove and roam, and Riot are trimming a bit of her invisible power. Her base movement speed has been reduced in order to make it so that she can't roam as quickly. Her W's cooldown has been increased at early ranks, so again, she won't be able to walk around at that quick. And her R no longer grants vision, so Talia won't have the ability to just R in the direction of an objective and be able to tell immediately if people are doing it. Trundle is being nerfed in this patch. He is way too good at dueling, even if he doesn't build damage, so he's having some of his power reduced. His Q's base damage has been decreased, but the ratio has been increased. And the stolen attack damage duration is down to 5 seconds from 8, so Trundle will have to build damage if he wants to have as much dueling presence as he does currently. Wukong is being nerfed in this patch as well. His burst damage is way too high for a champion with both invisibility and a dash, so Riot are making it so that he won't just annihilate you from stealth before we have a chance to react. His Q's base damage and ratio have both been reduced, so Wukong ideally won't be killing you immediately as he comes out of the fog of war. Finally, for competitive outliers, Zoe is being nerfed. It doesn't make any sense that she can kill you without landing her skill shots, so Riot are reducing the damage of her targeted abilities, so that way she won't be able to just straight up kill you unless she can land Sleepy Treble Bubbles and Paddle Stars. Her passive's base damage has been decreased at all levels, and the ratio has been decreased as well. Additionally, her W's damage ratio has been decreased, so the little bubble she gets after using an active item or summoner spell won't be doing as much damage as they did before. Ideally, this will make it so that Zoe has to land skill shots to kill you. Moving on to tank changes. There are a slew of buffs aimed at making tanks a little bit better in the current meta, so hopefully this will do something to increase their strength. Amumu's E now grants bonus damage reduction based on his bonus armor and magic resistance, so while it's active, he'll be even harder to kill. Leona's W cooldown now decreases with rank. It is down to 10 seconds at maximum rank, which is a big change if you think about the fact that the duration is 6 seconds as long as she can get the shield pop on an enemy champion. So there is only a 4-second window in which Leona will not benefit from the bonus resistances she gets from Eclipse. So this should make Leona very, very tanky in fights. Nautilus's W has a few changes. The shield has a better base shield and a lower cooldown, but has worse scaling and a worse duration. What this means is that Nautilus will have a significantly better, he will have more shields throughout the game, but will have to use it more often, and will have a worse scaling in order to compensate. So this should do a lot, though, to help Nautilus feel a little bit better in fights. Rammus's W resistances have been increased. He's still better against AD, but does do a little bit better against magic damage. Sion's W health gain has been increased. He'll get more health from nearby enemies that he kills. Tahm Kench has a few changes. His Q's slow duration has been decreased, but the cooldown has also been decreased to compensate. And he has a few W changes as well. The duration on ally cast has been down to 4 seconds, but the cooldown has been massively increased. However, the cooldown is halved on enemy cast, so he will still be able to get a reasonable cooldown on his W, provided he's casting it on enemies. Additionally, his W's cost has been decreased, so Kench won't feel as bad about using Devour when it's available. This feels more like a nerf than a buff for Tahm Kench, but it does incentivize Tahm Kench using Devour offensively, so it should still make him feel pretty good if he's looking to devour enemy champions as opposed to just eating his ally whenever they get into trouble. Meanwhile, going on to some changes aimed at reducing the power of burst runes. Right now, it's way too easy for people to just stack all of these bursty runes and just kill you in one hit, especially with things like Storm Razor and Duskblade. So Riot are changing how some of these runes work in order to make it so that you don't get so much free damage just through the rune system. Summon Ares' base damage has been decreased, but the base shielding has been increased. Both of these are only at early levels. They will scale up to be the exact same as they are currently, but what it means is that you won't have as much free damage early on, but if you're an enchanter or someone who can proc the shield, you'll be feeling a lot better about the change. Electrocute's base damage and scalings have both been decreased, but the cooldown has been decreased as well, so it won't hit as hard, but you'll be able to proc it more often. Celerity's movement speed conversion to adaptive force has also been decreased, so you get less attack damage or ability power based on your movement speed. Cheap Shot and Sudden Impact have both had their general damage reduced. Cheap Shot deals less base damage at early levels, and Sudden Impact's lethality and magic penetration have been decreased, so again, just less damage in the system. And Scorch's base damage has been decreased, but the cooldown has been decreased as well, same as Electrocute, so you can't get as much damage out of it, but you will also be able to proc it a lot more often. All these changes should make it so that it's a lot harder to stack upfront burst damage and make it so that champions can survive a little bit longer. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Go ahead and let me know what you guys are thinking of this patch. Would love to hear your thoughts and what you guys think is the most relevant change. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you really enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days, like today as well. And if you're looking for Grab the Lantern content, you can check out my blog, link down in the description. I upload an article just about each and every single day for your enjoyment. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you all later.